I don't care what anyone says, Pokemon are awesome! There's almost 700 of these guys, and trying to do a personal list of my favorites is far too generic, and I wanted to try and go a different route, so I decided to have a little fun. Poking fun at the terrible abilities. They can really give your Pokemon an edge in the battles, but some of them can actually hinder your Pokemon, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this list. In case you're wondering, no, I won't make a list of my favorites because as long as it benefits the Pokemon, that's all I care about. Oh, and even though you'll see footage from the 3rd and 4th generation, this is based off of the abilities in the 5th generation, so you won't find Sturdy or Lightning Rod here. Let's start it off. Who better to start this list than with the first Pokemon shown for the 3rd generation, which is also when abilities first came into the gameplay. Cleon is the only one with the ability Color Change, so you would expect it to do something incredible, but all it does is make it the same type as the last attack that hit it. I'm not exactly sure how this can help you out in battle. In fact, your opponent can use it against you. But I do have to give it this, and the reason why it's not any higher on the list. It's thanks to this ability that you'll know exactly what hidden power type your Pokemon has. And I like hidden power most of the time. Abilities, as mentioned earlier, can give your Pokemon an edge in the battles. Not all of them are used like that, but can still be rather helpful, such as Pickup, but Luminate just doesn't seem that great. It increases the chance of running into a wild Pokemon and does nothing in battle. You would think it would lower the opponent's accuracy or something like that, but it does nothing. My real beef with Illuminate is that if you're training a Lantern, it's either going to have Volt Absorb or this one. Which one sounds better, the one that increases your health if hit by any electric attack, or the one that's easily replaced by Sweet Scent? There is no other way for me to say this. Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! Pokemon is all about strategy. What kind of moves you want to give them, what stats you want to raise, and what items you want them to hold on to. In battle, you could hold items that could very well turn the tide of the match, but it's kinda hard to do that if you're a klutz. The Pokemon can't hold an item unless it affects their experience. No berries, no items, no chance. Normally, when you want the Pokemon to have an ability, you want something that lowers your opponent's attack, recover health from attacks, or just something nasty altogether. But when you see the Pokemon have the ability Hustle, that's your reaction to find a better ability. Hustle raises your Pokemon's attack while lowering your accuracy. I absolutely hate that. When your accuracy goes down, you pretty much rely on luck to win, and that is something I don't want to count on. The only reason it's not any higher is you can give it items that increase their accuracy, or moves that never miss. But if the Pokemon has a second ability, I'd rather have that one. When I train Pokemon, I look for their stats and their movesets, but Normalise kinda hinders that. With Normalise, all their moves turn into the normal type, meaning your Pokemon is completely screwed against Ghost, Rock, and Steel types. And who wants that? Moxie raises the Pokemon's attack when they knock out an opponent. Awesome! Speed Boost raises the Pokemon's speed every turn. Sweet! Stall. Your Pokemon always moves last in battle. What the crap? Why would anyone want that? Unless you're going to use a skill swap move to give it to your opponents, then this ability completely kills your speed stat. And I'm all about Sweeper, so that doesn't work with me. Oh yeah, if you've played the games, you knew this one would show up on the list at some point. Just by showing you Regigigas, you already started thinking, I'm glad none of my other Pokemon have the slow start ability. Come on, who wants to have their attack and speed cut in half for the first 5 turns? No one but your opponent. The only reason it's not any higher is because you can give it Thunder Wave to make up for its cut in half speed. But it's still pretty high because you can't give it Swords Dance, Protect, or Detect. Some would argue that a Pokemon's ability can keep them from being overpowered. However, this list is based on abilities you would never want to give your Pokemon. Remember Truant? The ability that lets your Pokemon make a move every 2 turns? That means that the Pokemon is wide open to a direct attack every other turn. It's also sad that the Pokemon Durant gets this as a Dream World ability. What a waste! And this is only 2nd on my list. Can you imagine what the worst one is like? For the most part, when a Pokemon has an ability that lowers their stats, they get something in return. But if you're training an Archeon or an Archeops, you'll do whatever it takes to replace Defeatus. Whenever its HP is lower than 50%, their attack and special attack get cut in half. Yeah, this guy's incredibly overpowered and has good speed, but come on, it's got low defenses, so all it really takes is one hit to cripple it severely. If you're training one, you'll be begging for your opponent to either use Worry Seed, Gastro Acid, Skill Swap, or pray the opponent is using a Cofferagus to get the Mummy ability. Defeatus is the equivalent of someone who gives up too quickly. And I'd like to tell it to toughen up and go for it, but it seems weird to be yelling at a game. And that wraps up this list. If you have a difference of opinion, go ahead and leave a comment about your 10 of the worst Pokemon abilities.